Hello everybody and welcome back to another Starcraft II video by Konungr, where we watch some of my Zerg videos. Unfortunately, all of today's games were either ZvZ or ZvT. So we're going to the best game I had tonight was the one I just played. Now, what it was... Let's see. Let me go ahead and take this down, open this up, and I'd like to go ahead and just check something real quick. So right now I have an 86% win rate versus Terran. So I'm actually doing quite well. And my last game was actually really good. Funnily enough, I actually played the guy. My first game tonight after work was against the dude on merry-go-round, and then my third game tonight was against the same guy, this time on King Zhejiang Station, which is the Polar Knight revamp. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get into this video. And I decided to start using a different opener on all of my matchups. Regardless of the matchup, I started doing this opener. And what it is it's a Roach opener I found on Fenner. So let's go ahead and get here and go to my camera and setting the base camera. So we'll go ahead and speed this up a little bit while I'm going over a few things. So what it is it's the one of his fundamental builds, which it gets up a quick economy for that first base, and then immediately throws down into 10 roaches, throws those roaches at the enemy base just to throw pressure on them, not really microing or anything, just throwing those units there while you max out your second base and go ahead, start Lair, Roach speed, and upgrades and what have you. As soon as Roach speed's done, you mass up on roaches and walk out. I do a slight rendition of it. I don't just wait for Roach speed, I also throw down my Hydra den, and I also grab my Spire as well as a third base, and I go up to a full 3.5 base economy like I normally do with the 72 drones. 16 on each base, the first 3 bases, and 6 on each gas on all 4 bases, with a queen on each, and sometimes a creep spread queen. Max out with a good 10 to 20 Mutalisks for harassment and just some air units, and then a good mix of either Ling Bling or, in this case, RoachHydra. So, got up and what this build is anywhere from a 13 to a 15 pool, just so we can get our queen out and some safety links if need be. Get our economy up to a full 16 on minerals, 3 on gas. Start up our second. As soon as we hit about 27 supply, we go ahead and throw down the Roach Warren. Start work on the natural. Maybe throw a few drones down on the natural, no more than 3 or 4, and then grab about 10 roaches and move out with them. Or depending on the opponent. The first game with this gentleman, Icosiol, I believe was his name, Icosiol, he actually moved into my base with 3 or 4 Hellions as I moved into his with my 10 roaches. And then he pulled them out after taking out about one of my drones worth of bases, but I had a good econ by that time. So we just get these guys, and we actually got more than 10 on this one, and then we go ahead and move them towards his ramp. One of the things, like I said, this is the Polar Knight recap, so just like in Polar Knight, there is the rocks behind the base you can attack. So we send our roaches down there to go ahead and take that down, and we're going to push into his base and just kind of do a little bit of damage while we're maxing out here. Go ahead and get up all of our extractors as well as our 2 Evo chambers, our Hydra den. Max out. Now he's waiting for us. Doesn't think I was going to do this, but I do manage to take out 1 tank. I do lose my roaches, but it's no biggie. That was just so I could keep the pressure off myself so I could get my econ up, immediately throw down my third. I do a little mishap here. I managed to forget my second extractor by a misclick. That's no biggie. So we're continuing to drone up, upgrade us slightly, and just get our economy back up and running, as well as getting a few safety units just in case he counterattacks quickly. So at this point we're doing a nice mixture of Roaches and Hydralisks just for a nice even composition. That way no one unit can solely take out my army. Let's see, go ahead and set this up. We got our economy, and one of the great things about Zerg is the ability to completely drone up a base in one fell swoop. So we go ahead and set that up, and with those last 3 drones, we're going to go ahead and start our 4th. No real reason to wait. We've got a pretty nice economy now, so we're just keeping it spent and trying to max out as fast as possible. We've also got that nice, good, even Overlord spread that I've talked about in other videos, so I can see whenever he takes a third, no matter where it is on the map. The only one I did miss is this one over here. And as I'm saying that, we're getting attacked. He does manage to take out my hydrogen, no biggie. We just start a new one, we're going to replenish that drone, and he comes down to attack my third. He manages to kill off my queen, which is no biggie. I can make out a few more. So I go ahead and make 3 more, and I come finish off this real quick. He doesn't do much damage. I think he killed a drone there with his Marauder. So we've got our Spire up. We go ahead and start an upgrade on there, and we're going to get a few Mutalisks here in the bunch as well, here in just a moment. We're also working on 2-2 for ground, Hydralisk speed, and +1 for air units. Max out on Mutalisk as far as gas, and we also have quite the Overlord count. And as we're about to move out, we do see that he's moving in towards us with his entire army. Well, at least a good sized Polish army. We go ahead and walk into it. We've got the economy to replenish quite well, so we go ahead and take that out, and we use our Mutalisk to chase down his medevacs while we're reinforcing. We go ahead and take out a couple straggling units, and as we notice that, we also see he is starting on his third. So we go ahead and move our ground forces down to start working on those. As 2-2 are starting to finish, we go ahead and throw down our infestation pit so we can get Hive. And we go ahead and block this just so there's only one way they can get to our base, and we go ahead and move in here. Replenish up some of our units. We get up to another 200 as we notice him coming back. So we just wait, camp for it. He goes to try to burrow a few there. We go ahead and take those down. He does manage to get a couple down, and we can pull back. We come down, take down his third. Go ahead and make sure shut that down. We transition from our first to our fourth. Just make sure we don't get economy locked, and he goes ahead and GG's. So it was a pretty good game. I'm kind of liking this build. It gets a nice economy up fairly quickly. In the eventuality of early aggression, it's really easy to throw down a couple of spines and wait for the Roach warren to finish, because we're not really relying on Lings, because we're just basically getting up that first base economy fully up and then immediately getting out some Roaches. So a good 10 Roaches, which a 1 base economy will pump out fairly quickly, can defend just about most of the early rushes. The only time you ever need to pump out Lings is for a either proxy racks, proxy gate, or a cannon rush, and all of those are easily scouted as long as you know what you're scouting for. I actually didn't scout in this game. I don't know why. It just kind of didn't happen. I was kind of focused on it, but it was a good game nonetheless. And just as we finished up the game, I was remaxing out on Mutalisks just to kind of take out a few things. So, good game there. Let's go ahead and quit out of this. And according to Starcraft II gears, my MMR is a good 3/4 of the way between gold and platinum. So my promotion to gold should be any day now. Unfortunately, I'm guessing it's just lack of games that hasn't promoted me yet. All of my stats in GG tracker, saturation speed's been a little low. Though on most games before tonight, I was playing a very slow econ on the first base because I got out of quite a few safety units before I switched to this build. So I was having my first saturation rate was always bronze, whereas my second and third saturation speeds are usually in the masters. With this new build, it switches it around to where I have master speed saturation. Also, my current spending skill on most games, it's about grandmaster, between grandmaster, sometimes silver or gold, but most of the time it's really high up there, diamond, master, grandmaster. Overall, my spending skill throughout all the games that I've played is registering at diamond level. So everything taken into account, I should be getting my promotion to gold any day now. Well, we'll see what happens. As always, it's been a pleasure, and I will see you in the next video. So tomorrow night after I get off of work, we'll see if I can get a few good videos up there. And we're going to see how well this build does for us. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.